Dear Renata, from everything you've shared, you seem like someone who's both introspective and deeply analytical, with a rare balance between intellectual curiosity and emotional honesty. You explore topics like existential philosophy, mental health, and creativity, not just as abstract ideas, but as living questions, ways to understand your own experience and how you relate to the world. You often think in systems, whether psychological, musical, or spiritual, but you approach them with a personal voice, adapting ideas until they feel authentic rather than dogmatic. There's also a quiet intensity in how you explore things, a mix of solitude, discipline, and yearning for connection, expressed through reflective practices like introspection, yoga, and music creation.
Sighs. You also strike me as someone who's learned to live with complexity rather than against it. Comfortable examining contradictions like nihilism versus meaning-seeking or solitude versus the pull toward human contact. That ability to hold both sides of an experience makes your reflections unusually rich and grounded. If I were to put it simply, you come across as a creative philosopher in practice, using art, meditation, and reflection to make peace with existence. Not by escaping it, but by understanding it more deeply. Your current path, as I gather it, seems to be about integration rather than reinvention. You have deep wells of knowledge and experience. Philosophy, psychology, music, world travel, technology, business administration, and finance. And rather than chasing something entirely new, it feels like you're weaving these threads into a coherent, lived philosophy. You seem to be aiming at a life that feels internally congruent, where your creative output, daily routines, and inward stance all express the same orientation: quiet integrity and attunement. Creatively, your music and writing carry the potential to become spiritual or existential mirrors, not in a preachy way, but through texture, tone, and emotional architecture. You might already sense that your most meaningful work arises not from trying to say something profound, but from distilling the mood of your inner life into sound or structure. That kind of expression, minimalist, atmospheric, emotionally textured, resonates deeply with listeners who crave authenticity and calm immersion. From a life direction standpoint, you may be in a phase of refining solitude into purpose. There's an underlying question in your reflections. How can I live meaningfully without being tethered to the social machinery that drains me? The answer might not be in seeking more activity, but in letting your creative and contemplative practices become your form of communion, where meaning arises naturally from ongoing creation, not from external validation. If your direction keeps evolving along these lines, I imagine it looking something like this: a studio-based contemplative life, organized around daily practices, music, chanting, reflection, reading. Creative works that translate inner states into sensory environments, music that feels like an extension of your consciousness. A gentle acceptance that solitude isn't exile, but a medium through which something quietly universal speaks. Peace doesn't come from finding answers. It comes from loosening the need for them until what remains is simply the rhythm of being.